I'm not talking about the Village Voice, I'm not talking about the Village People, and I'm certainly not talking about the Village Idiot. I'm talking about the Village Creperie in Belmont Village in Kitchener for delicious crepes and galettes. How long has the restaurant been open?
We opened in August of 2007, so we're working on our third year.
And it comes via Brittany. Tell me about how that happened.
Well, I was on sabbatical, and Jean has always been interested in cooking. Jean's my wife, and she decided to take a creperie course in a little village outside of Rennes in Brittany called Mar-en-Bretagne. And it was a 2-week, all-intensive course where they actually ran a restaurant.
That's sort of an area that's famous for crepes.
Yes, it is, yeah. If you're in Rennes, there's every other restaurant is a creperie almost.
This is essentially a Balahira family business.
It
Tell me
is,
who's
yeah.
involved.
My daughter Melissa basically runs the outside here, the wait staff, and did a lot of the designing of the restaurant. And Jean does most of the cooking and develops the recipes. And I'm the sort of general runaround boy, and I do the shopping, try to stay out of the way. And
most of us, I think, are familiar with the classic dish, crêpes Suzette, but you've introduced diners to a whole world of savory buckwheat galettes, they're called. Why don't you tell us what those are?
First of all, buckwheat isn't a wheat, so it's a fruit, and it got its name from its shape, its triangular shape, and it just looks like a beech nut. The nice thing about buckwheat is that it's probably the most high in protein of any of the in the plant kingdom. Okay, so it's really excellent for vegetarians. It has 8 of the essential amino acids that the body can't manufacture, so it's really a healthy flour. They're used for our savory crepes, which is our meal crepes, and we fill them with all kinds of different things. Like, for example, today we have our special is Riesling chicken, plus a lot of other things and cheeses and so on. We do a lot of the traditional ones, but like other creperies around the world now, they're introducing many non-traditional French crepes into their savory ones.
And you have many notes on the menu about the organic quality of what you're serving.
Yes, we try to use all organic ingredients wherever we can. We grow a lot of our own organic food as well in our own greenhouse. But generally, you know, we have to buy it from someplace, and so we seek it out from all over. We're really dedicated to being organic and healthy. And so we try to use all healthy cooking methods. We also cater to people who are gluten intolerant, celiacs, for example. And so we have an edge there because the buckwheat crepe itself is perfect. All we have to do is make sure that when we do a filling, that it doesn't contain any ingredients that have gluten in them.
In the kitchen at Village Creperie with Alexandre Roy from Brittany.
From Brittany.
And you're going to show us how to make a complète?
Complete.
Please, let's see.
Okay, let's go. So I'm going to grease the galetoir.
It's called a galetoir?
Galetoir, yeah.
And that's the traditional cooking...
British language, we call it bilic.
Bilic?
Bilic. B-I-L-I-G.
It's a little bit different than a galetoir.
Yeah.
But it does the same job, and that's the traditional method of cooking in
traditional,
Britain.
Yeah. So, take the batter. Spray like that.
And the name of that tool that you're using is?
Roselle.
Roselle?
A Roselle, yeah.
You're getting that very, very thin. It's almost like lace on there, isn't it?
It's really thin.
Super thin.
So I'm going to break the eggs.
Now in Brittany, they probably would let the egg yolk be a little bit runny.
Yes.
In Canada, we make sure it gets cooked through hard.
I spread the white. That's why it's cooked better.
With his palette knife. And what kind of cheese mix are you throwing in there?
So cheddar and mozzarella. So
I'm just going to sprinkle that around.
Yeah, spread the cheese all over.
That will make it nice and rich in your mouth, for sure.
I'm going to add some raw onions.
Now that
some sliced ham.
The crepe is really curling up at the edges. That's okay? It's,
so the thing is, here, it should be thin like that.
Right.
Really thin. And middle more like, that's the secret of the good Brittany crepe.
Okay.
So I'm going to fill like a square. So everybody has this in France, all the family.
In each household, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they would do all 3 meals on there, from breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, from breakfast.
Yeah.
Most people is breakfast, it's easier. Yeah.
And we're ready to plate.
Yeah. Just go like that.
Slides off quite nicely.
Here we go.
Oh, it's a thing of beauty. Thank you, Alexander, for showing us.
problem.
It certainly takes the pancake to a different extreme, doesn't it?
Yes.
And now Jessica Maziar of the restaurant is going to show us how to make a famous dish, the crepe Suzette. So it's essentially the same preparation, but it doesn't have as much filling in it, I guess, than the original that we saw. And this, of course, is a sweeter batter and not the buckwheat.
Right. Okay. Same sort of thing.
Now, Alexandre learned his trade actually in Brittany. You perhaps did not.
From my grandmother, actually.
So you were trained here at the restaurant.
Right. Well, at home first and then here. So we're just going to flip that there. And then we're actually going to bring crepe right over here and lay it in the pan.
And that's a combination of?
This here is butter and orange juice and sugar and a little bit of brandy. And then we boil it.
Now, is this just to finish cooking, or is it just accepting more flavors?
It just soaks up all the flavors, yeah.
It's an older dish. It's a classic dish that goes back many, many, many years.
This is the tricky part. Technically, you can garnish this with pretty much anything. Here at the Creperie, we garnish it with a little bit of fruit, just a little bit of chocolate sauce, and just a little bit of creme fraiche. It's basically whipped cream and yogurt, and we let it sit. We actually make our own creme fraiche here. So then we have the hot alcohol, and you light the alcohol, and then you just pour it on like so. You watch your fingers.
Thin is good, and flat is good. The Village Creperie in Belmont Village in Kitchener serves Brittany crepes and galettes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.